Hey, greetings and salutations. So I was doing a quick live on just Facebook only, but I decided to come live on YouTube and actually just kind of talk about this. You guys have been seeing it. People have been talking about it. Shout out to the At&t Nation. Shout out to Carlos. Shout out to everyone that's been talking about it. And so after just basically looking at things and how things is going, kind of wanted to talk about it, but also how this impacts people. Like, people got to understand what's really at stake here when it comes to it, right? So things put in layman's terms. But anyways, I won't have this up through the duration of the podcast, only because I want people to really just kind of focus on what we're going to be talking about. But for those who actually do want to try Helium Mobile for 1 month free, you guys can use my promo code. Use the QR code right here at the bottom to scan it. That will give you guys a link to get started and signed up. Sign up with Helium Mobile, use my promo code, and get your first month free. So that's the only time that will be up there. I'm not going to have it up there into the duration of the podcast. And I actually just want to talk to people directly, right? So we're not even like doing like a podcast tech show or anything like that. We're talking straight here. Anyways, so I wanted to bring this up on screen and share this right away. So get straight into it and get this started. I will drop links to what I'm looking at for, to cite my sources. So you guys can read it yourselves if you guys want to. But anyways, I'm kind of just switch that around. I'll just do it this way. But all right, so the first that we're going to be looking at is from the website thehackernews.com. This is kind of going in on AT&T and the data breach that happened. They gave a little bit of synopsis of it. I don't know exactly how thorough their story is, but I'm just going to go on it, and feel free to ask questions as I'm going through, or, give your thoughts, statements, emotional outbursts, whatever it may be. But so this was actually written on July 13th, 2024. And this one basically states AT&T confirms data breach affecting nearly all wireless customers. So that pretty much sucks. Goes on to say that American telecom service provider AT&T has confirmed that threat actors managed to access data belonging to nearly all of its wireless customers, as well as customers of mobile virtual network operators, or MVNOs, using AT&T's wireless network. Threat actors unlawfully accessed an AT&T workspace on a third-party cloud platform, and between April 14th and April 25th, 2024, exfiltrated files containing AT&T records of customers' calls and text interactions that occurred between approximately May 1st and October 31st, 2022, as well as on January 2nd, 2023. This compromises telephone numbers with which an AT&T or MVNO wireless number interacted, including telephone numbers of AT&T landline customers and customers of other carriers, counts of those interactions, and aggregate call durations for a day or month. A subset of these records also contained one or more cell site identification numbers, potentially allowing the threat actors to triangulate the approximate location of a customer when a call was made or a text message was sent. AT&T said it will alert current and former customers if their information was involved. So yeah, they're still trying to go through and they're still trying to figure all this out. But that's insane. They actually were able to get a hold of these cell site identification numbers. So every cell site has an ID number on it. And this obviously lets AT&T engineers and everyone know, like, when a cell site is down, they can know exactly where the location is at just by the cell site ID number. And the fact that the hackers were able to get a hold of that's insane all on its own. I mean, as you see, they were able to triangulate when a customer placed a call or sent a text message, like exactly where they were. To put it in layman's terms, when people talk about, the police locating somebody that's missing or whatever, this is how they find their phone, to triangulate the last place where they were. They use the cell site ID numbers of where the phone pinged off those towers to get a location of where the phone is and possibly the person that's missing. So the fact that AT&T at this point, all of its wireless customers' information basically was breached, and these hackers have information of where a call and when a message was sent. Now, I know, I get it. This happened. The information that they have correlates with May 1st through October 31st, 2022. So that's almost 2 years ago. Well, it's about 2 years ago when it started. Okay. And I guess information on January 2nd, 2023, which is over a year ago. I get that. But there's more that can be done, more that, you got to be aware of. Now, for those who want to know who was exactly affected, AT&T's list of MVNOs include Black Wireless, Boost Infinite, Consumer Cellular, Cricket Wireless, Freedom Pop, Free Up Mobile, Good to Go, H2O Wireless, Pure Talk, Red Pocket, Straight Talk Wireless, TrackPhone Wireless, Unreal Mobile, and Wing. So those are the MVNOs, which is mobile virtual network operators. They use AT&T's network, but they are not part of or owned by AT&T. These companies are affected as well, alongside AT&T Prepaid, Cricket Wireless. I don't even know why they list Cricket Wireless as an MVNO. Cricket's owned by them. I heard the hackers hacked AT&T and all AT&T. Yeah, they did. They were able to get names, numbers, addresses. They were able to basically triangulate usage. So they know where you were when you placed a phone call to a certain number. This is insane. Absolutely insane. Continuing on, the name of the third-party cloud provider was not disclosed by AT&T, but Snowflake has since confirmed that the breach was connected to the hack that's impacted other customers, such as Ticketmaster, Santander, Neiman Marcus, LendingTree, according to Bloomberg. The company said it became aware of the incident on April 19th, 2024, and immediately activated its response efforts. It further noted that it's working with the law enforcement in their efforts to arrest those involved, and that at least one person has been apprehended. 404 Media reported that a 24-year-old U.S. citizen named John Binns, who was previously arrested in Turkey in May of 2024, is connected with the security event, citing 3 unnamed sources. He was also indicted in the U.S. for infiltrating T-Mobile in 2021 and selling its customers' data. However, AT&T emphasizes that the accessed information does not include the content of calls or texts, personal information such as social security numbers, date of births, or other personal identifiable information. While the data does not include customer names, there are often ways using publicly available online tools to find a name associated with a specific number. It said from a Form 8-K filing with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC. It is also urging users to be on the lookout for phishing, smishing, online fraud by only opening text messages from trusted senders. On top of that, customers can submit a request to get the phone numbers of their calls and texts in the illegally downloaded data. I believe there's a little bit more to this than just that. See, Wired revealed last month how the hackers behind the data thefts and extortion attacks procured stolen Snowflake credentials from dark web services that sell access to usernames, passwords, and authentication tokens that are captured by stealer malware. This included obtaining access through a third-party contractor named EPAM Systems, or EPAM Systems. For its part, Snowflake this week announced the administrators could now enforce mandatory multi-factor authentication, or MFA, for all users to mitigate the risk of account takeovers. It has also said it will soon require MFA for all users in newly created Snowflake accounts. Then they have this update right here, real quick. It says AT&T has reportedly paid the threat actors behind the breach $370,000 in cryptocurrency to delete what's believed to be the only copy of the data and provide a video demonstrating proof of deletion, according to Wired. The ransom amount is believed to have been paid back in May, according to the member of the notorious Shiny Hunters hacking group that has claimed responsibility for the incident by exploiting unsecured Snowflake storage accounts. The U.S. Federal Communications Commission, FCC, said it has an ongoing investigation into the AT&T breach, and we're coordinating with our law enforcement partners. Okay, so that is insane, and it's in cryptocurrency. So we don't know what crypto that they use. Obviously, they're going to use crypto because crypto doesn't really leave breadcrumbs behind. So they can get the money that they want, which is the ransom money, but there's no breadcrumb, there's no trail. That is the whole purpose of why cryptocurrency even exists. This is why a lot of people do business and exchange business using cryptocurrency on the dark web. So they paid the ransom. You also heard AT&T paid the hack. Yeah, they did. Now, do you really think this hacking group deleted the only copy of it? Look, I'm going to be real with everybody. Okay, if I was a hacker and I was able to bypass the security and grab this information from AT&T, the moment that I have it, the moment that I had full record of everything, I'm making backups. I am not going to start parading that I was able to breach AT&T security. I'm not going around showing off that I have it. I'm not trying to prove to anybody that I did it. I'm not doing that until I've made backups because I want leverage. Okay? That's if I was a hacker. So my mind tells me that even though they may have recorded a video showing them deleting the only copy of customers' information that they obtained through the breach, I wouldn't believe them as far as I can throw them, which ain't that far. Because I'm for damn sure they have a backup of that. And it's probably floating around in the dark web. Because, I mean, again, this is a lucrative business for them. If this wasn't a good business for them to make money, they wouldn't be trying to break into T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon. They wouldn't be trying to get all these customers' information. They wouldn't be selling it on the dark web. They are literally making money on this. What up, Sneed? They are literally making money on this. So if anyone thinks that they took the 370,000 in cryptocurrency and deleted the only copied file that they had of all this information, I would say to put the bong down for a second and let's get back down to earth. I wouldn't believe them at all, even if they were like to confirm that was the only copy. Yeah, that may be the only copy that they have on them, on their computer. That may be the only copy that they have on their hard drive. That ain't the only copy that they have total. The dark web is a very unique place. Anyone that has used an Onion browser and has gone through the dark web knows exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, you got to remember that the dark web, the reason it's called that is because it's a part of the internet that is not indexed. So it's not like searching up a website like going to thehackernews.com. No. Some of the sites don't even have actual letters in their address, in their URL. Their URL is numbers. Okay, so the dark web is where a portion of things that you would consider to be illegal, that's where it's at. There's the deep web, which is a lot further, a lot deeper, a lot darker. Okay, I have in my past, I have and had an addiction into surfing through the dark web. I'll admit it. You know, my wife smacked the hell out of my head because I was always curious to see what I could find. The dark web just has so much really cool shit inside of it. I mean, not all of it's cool, but there is some. There are people who make websites just to see how good you are. Like how good are you at breaking code? I mean, there's websites that has like 5 or 6 boxes that you have to crack, and like each box is like timed. Some boxes you only have 2 minutes to crack the code and break through it, and when you break through it, there's another box. You got to crack that code. You got to keep going until you actually access the site. Talk about levels of security being broken there. And my wife pretty much made me swear to never go back on there again. It was a couple years ago. Now, it was only because I was stupid. I was trying to look for the infamous red room to see if that thing actually really exists. Haven't been on there since. But what I'm trying to say is that I know enough of the dark web and I know how shit runs on there to know that if they made a backup of everything that they were able to take from AT&T, it's floating there. They have it. Okay? Switching over to AT&T's website. I'll pop this into the chat too as well. And yeah, you guys can go to the site if you guys want to. I said Sneed's in here. Shout out to him because, you know, he's been covering it. I just saw your video, Rando Geek. So what's up, man? Glad to have you here. But yeah, so this page is actually from AT&T themselves. AT&T addresses a recent data set released on the dark web. So this is what they decide to say. AT&T has determined that AT&T data-specific fields were contained in a data set released on the dark web approximately 2 weeks ago. While AT&T has made this determination, it is not yet known whether the data in those fields originated from AT&T or one of its vendors. With respect to the balance of the data set, which includes personal information such as social security numbers, the source of the data is still being assessed. AT&T has launched a robust investigation supported by internal and external cybersecurity experts. Based on the preliminary analysis, the data set appears to be from 2019 or earlier, impacting approximately 7.6 million current AT&T account holders and approximately 65.4 million former account holders. Currently, AT&T does not have evidence of unauthorized access to its own system, resulting in exfiltration of the data set. The company is communicating proactively with those impacted and will be offering credit monitoring at our expense where applicable. We encourage current and former customers with questions to visit att.com/account safety for more information. As of today, the incident has not had a material impact on AT&T operations. It's crazy. One person already caught. The others are trying to hide. They pretended to accept the money, but of course, they have another copy. Yeah, I mean, anyone who's been on the dark web and anyone who knows what these hackers love to do, right? Because it's the same thing that happened with, kind of happened with Boost Infinite. Boost Infinite had a serious data breach last year. They had a serious data breach. They didn't come and like they handled it poorly because they didn't come forward. They didn't tell a lot of its customers the truth, right? To them, it was just systems were down. You know, shout out to the brave people that I know at Boost Infinite who decided to post on Reddit a picture of what their computer said. We got to see the ransom note. The ransom note, the hackers that had basically taken over Dish's like systems, like all their systems. These workers, they went ahead and they showed everybody to confirm that there was a data breach. It wasn't until then, and myself and other YouTubers went online and told everybody what was going on, that Dish decided to spill the beans on that, right? So, at least with AT&T, they're offering certain things like creditor monitoring and stuff like that, and it'll be on them. They'll be paying for it. Customers won't have to. Former customers won't have to. That's a good thing, and they should be. They should be doing that. The extent of the information that's taken, we don't know, because at first they said that no one's social security number was taken. Now they're saying that it was. And this is back from 2019, but who knows exactly? This is what they're able to find out. This is not ironclad. Like, I guarantee you the CEO of AT&T would not bet his millions of dollars and say they didn't get your DOB, they didn't get your address. He won't do that because they don't know the extent of how much information they have. One guy's arrested. As y'all see, Rando said, one guy's already been arrested. Will he snitch? Maybe. Maybe to cut himself a nice deal. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But as far as does anyone think that the information was deleted? If they recorded a video pretty much deleting that file, whatever, however size it is, there are more than one copy. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. Because if this deal goes south, right? As Rando said, they pretended to accept the money. Well, I mean, they wanted it to be deleted, right? And yeah, you can always record a video and send it that you deleted a file. But like any hacker out there, whether they're a black hat, gray, white, doesn't matter. They could be good, they could be bad, they could be neither good or bad. They just, breaking into shit for fun. Doesn't matter. When they obtain information, they make backups. Which carrier has had the least amount of data breaches? Right now, I'm gonna go out and say Verizon. I really haven't heard I haven't heard much of Verizon having cyber breaches. I don't know. We've never really heard too much from AT&T. I've heard AT&T's name a couple of times, but T-Mobile has had the most. That's for damn sure. T-Mobile's got like Game Boy level security for some damn reason. Their shit is easy to break into. It's almost as easy as powering on a Game Boy. You're in. There are so much things I've seen on the dark web, and this is how people's information gets taken. This is how you have people that break into stuff. Like your mobile phone. Your mobile phone is a gateway to you. LOL, not T-Mobile. Of course, T-Mobile has had lots of data breaches. I'm not dissing them. You know, it happened, but I mean, I don't understand with T-Mobile. You know, they've had data breaches that were like severely impacted users, but then it's like, what were they doing to strengthen their security? Because it kept happening again and again. Lately, I feel like Verizon is the lesser of all evils when it comes to these telecom giants. But it's hard to say. 3 companies all have issues. Yeah, they do. And you know what? I'm not biased. Okay, I'll tell you guys. If anyone wants to say one day Verizon's going to get hit pretty big, I wouldn't dismiss that. I wouldn't dismiss that because we're in an age of technology. We're in an age where little pimple-faced 12-year-old kids with nothing better to do besides watching videos online, they get online to learn how to hack, and you got so many places you can grab information to learn how to do things, and then they do these things and they do these crazy things. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if a 15-year-old, I mean, let's go back to 2010, 2011. Do you remember the young man who was able to jailbreak an iPhone and put his iPhone on T-Mobile's network? And how much did Apple pay him because he did that? They wanted to make sure that they plugged up the information so other people wouldn't find out, which, too late. Yeah, he took the deal and everything like that with Apple, I believe. He took a job with them too, but not after, typing up what I call the successor, which is information that other people can grab onto and do the same thing. And now what do you hear a lot of throughout 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015 and on? Jailbreaking iPhones. So we live in a day that our smartphones are everything. They are everything to us. And now you got to worry about this. And so why wouldn't some of the best hackers in the world not target these companies? Why wouldn't they? It's only a matter of time for Verizon. I hate to wish. I'm not trying to wish bad. Knock on wood. I'm not trying to wish bad on Verizon, but I mean, come on. Missed the last live stream. Was that work? No worries, man. There's always the replay, man. When you got downtime and you ain't got shit to do, you can pop it on and just listen to it. That's what I do with other people's live streams. Like if I can't catch Sneed's live stream when he's live, when I get home, I just put it on my TV. It is I'm lounging in bed, unwinding for the day, and I'm listening to his podcast. So yeah, man. Verizon's falling behind in coverage because of their coverage deployment technology is not designed for long range coverage. It's only designed for fast internet speeds. Yeah, I mean, well, Sneed and everybody else said this like 4 years ago, right? 4 or 5 years ago when they were talking about 5G. And when 5G was starting to be implemented we started seeing more 5G phones. We started, hearing about it, millimeter wave, low band, mid band. We started hearing about it, right? We already knew. Verizon was more focused on getting faster data speeds, right? They're starting on the opposite end, right? So like millimeter wave was like their focus, right? And T-Mobile was starting on the opposite end. They were starting with low band 5G and working their way up. So yeah, of course, the outcome today, when you look at it, Verizon may be falling a little bit short, but it doesn't mean that they can't build out and expand. And then you have companies like Helium Mobile that's in beta right now, allowing other carriers such as AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile to be able to offload on their network, right? So you have all these things that's starting to happen. But this is where, this is where all those things happening also become a problem for us, is with data breaches, things like this. Things like this is really bad. And again, as mentioned by the Hacker News, companies that are affected are affected, again, reads as follows. Besides AT&T and AT&T Prepaid, the list of MVNOs is Black Wireless, Boost Infinite, Consumer Cellular, Cricket Wireless, Freedom Pop, Free Up Mobile, Good to Go, H2O Wireless, Pure Talk, Red Pocket, Straight Talk Wireless, TrackPhone Wireless, Unreal Mobile, and Wing. That is the list. Here, I'll just copy this and put this at a chat. That way it stays in the chat, the video. There you go. That's the list of all of them. Crazy. No. It's become one of those things where it's just like, this doesn't surprise me at all whatsoever. And hopefully my family members that do have AT&T are watching their stuff closely. Because this is crazy. So in the past 2 years, out of the 4 major carriers, yes, there's 4 major carriers. Boost Infinite has had a data breach. T-Mobile has had several. AT&T joins the fray. What does that mean for Verizon? Is Verizon the next target? Is there already a group? And that's the crazy thing too, right? Because you never know if it's a single or a group. You never know if it's a single hacker or a group. And you never know if they're black hats, gray hats, white hats. You don't know. You don't know what their intentions are. Obviously, these guys that got AT&T, I would consider them to probably be teetering between gray and black hat hackers. It only depends on what they actually do. And like, if this is their main thing that they do on the dark web, they grab people's information and they sell on the dark web, then yeah, they're black hat hackers, right? As I knew people that did this type of stuff. Like I said, I learned somewhere on how to access the dark web. I learned how to use an Onion browser, and I learned how all that stuff works. This is why I tell people, I tell my kids talk about the dark web, and I tell them stay off of it. Stay off of it, because you can have what you want to cover your own tracks, right? You can have an IP address scrambler. You can use that. You can try to ghost yourself, but there's always somebody that's good enough. Always someone that's good enough to find you. If they want to find you, they'll find you. If they're that damn good, they'll find you. Okay, I backdoored my way into a live stream that was happening on the dark web. Thought that I couldn't be found. Ghosted myself. That I did a pretty good job of doing it. And one of the moderators in that live stream hit me on the side DM and literally told me they see me and wanted to know how I got in. I was like, crap. I started pulling myself back out of there as slow as possible. Let's put it this way. The PC that I was using when I did that no longer powers on. Sits in a storage facility. I won't turn it on. Because I'm sure they got some of my information. I don't live in the same place where I did it, but I'll be honest with everybody, that scared the hell out of me. And I'm not even that damn good, so what these guys do on the dark web is crazy. It's insane. I wanted to get this information out for people to pretty much be aware of what's going on and to look at other info. Be careful about what you read as far as text message. Watch your credit very closely. Even if it says that, it affects people that were customers of AT&T in 2019. Look, it says that, right? But the list of MVNOs affected, Boost Infinite is not a 2019 company. They were not around in 2019. So I'm saying, if they're listing these companies as, MVNOs that were affected by it, you can't just think that because they said that, the customers from 2019 were affected. It's not only them. Okay? So anytime that you hear, a breach, data information breached, anything like that, take it seriously and watch your own ass. Okay? To my family and friends watching on Facebook, like I said, take this seriously. Watch your ass. Watch your shit closely. Because you never know if they sold this. You don't know. The group, one person apparently is arrested. They could have then sold it as retaliation to AT&T. That means that something out there, another entity has that information, and what they intend to do with it is beyond me. So without holding you guys up too much of your time, thank you guys for those that came in and hung out for a little bit. I appreciate you guys for being here. Spread the word. Shout out to Rando Geek and his video. He dropped the video. Go watch his video. You know what? Let me grab his video and I'm going to post it in the chat. Let me put the link to his video in my chat so you guys could, you know, check out his video where he talks about this. If you are not subscribed to him, I would say subscribe to him. He's got some good videos going on. If you guys are not following Sneed Mobile Tech, which I know most of you guys are, but if you're not, follow his channel. Definitely check him out. I'll post his latest video. So let me grab this link real quick and I'll share it in the chat. There you go. That is the link to Rando Geek's YouTube channel. Subscribe to his channel. Check him out. Watch his videos. Got good stuff. To those that are curious about this, links are in the description. They're in the chat here too. Actually, I got to put them in the description, but they're in the chat here too. But do check them out. You guys can read these articles. First article was from thehackernews.com. The second one was from AT&T's site themselves. So it's from about.att.com. Well, yeah. The links are in the chat. You guys can just get them there. I'm going to let y'all go. Love you guys very much. Be safe out there. Talk to y'all later.